I am free. Are you? That's not a question most people can answer without flinching, because freedom isn't granted, it's claimed. And once you've tasted it, you can never go back to pretending you didn't know what it tasted like. And once you've tasted it, you realize something extraordinary. You weren't born to live in a world created by others. You are born to create your own. That is the foundation of everything people now call manifestation. The idea that your world bends to the degree that you take responsibility for it. You are the architect, the builder, and the witness. Most people talk about freedom as if it's a political issue. To me, it's a spiritual one. You are either awake to your power or you're sleepwalking through someone else's design. I am free because I accept that no one is coming to save me. No government, no God, no guru. If I build, I create a world. If I destroy, I clear the space for a new one. Every act is mine, the glory and the guilt. That is the price of freedom. When I was young, I thought freedom was rebellion. Now, I know it's creation. Rebellion is a reaction. Creation is an act of God. Learn that rules aren't the enemy. Bad rules are. And the worst rule of all is the one you obeyed without question. Every culture has them. Invisible walls built from fear, shame, and the approval of others. Break them, and you'll see how thin the illusion of civility really is. It's easy to preach tolerance when everyone agrees with you. It's harder when you stand alone and say, no, that's wrong. I've broken rules, plenty of them. Not for the thrill, but for the truth. Obedience shapes the world as much as defiance does. Every time you comply with what you know is false, you cast a vote for the world you despise. That is why freedom begins where excuses end. I am morally responsible for everything that I do. That's the law of consciousness. It's not karma, it's cause and effect, directed by awareness. Your internal state creates your external reality. If you live as a victim, you will build a world that proves you're powerless. If you live as a creator, reality rearranges itself around your conviction. Slaves wait for permission. Free minds decide. You can tell who you are by how you behave when nobody's watching. If you still crave approval, you're not free. You're just domesticated. Chains don't always clink. Sometimes they applaud. When you live by your own compass, life gets simpler and lonelier. You will lose friends. You'll be misunderstood. They'll call you difficult, stubborn, arrogant. Let them. They hate you because you remind them of what they surrendered. Civilization is a contract, but it's a contract you're free to renegotiate at any time. The forgotten clause says you may withdraw your consent when the terms become intolerable. If I find the rules tolerable, I tolerate them. If I don't, I break them. That's not rebellion, that's maintenance. Civilization collapses when men stop challenging it. The system doesn't fear your vote. It fears your realization that you don't need his permission. You can't enslave a man who's willing to take full responsibility for himself. You can kill him, but you cannot own him. Freedom is contagious. One awakened mind infects 1,000 sleepers with doubt. That's why every tyranny falls, because thought spreads faster than fear. I've seen empires rise and rocked. Every one of them promised freedom. Every one of them delivered management. They've replaced kings with councils, priests with bureaucrats, chains with paperwork, and still call it progress. So I stopped worshiping systems and started trusting individuals. One honest mind can do more for civilization than 1,000 committees. because honesty is the highest technology of consciousness. Now, don't mistake me. I'm not against order. I'm against unconscious obedience. If a law protects dignity, uphold it. If it violates truth, break it cleanly and face the cost like a creator. That is the moral frontier, where evolution either continues or ends. Because freedom is not a right, it's a practice skill. It's a daily discipline of remembering you are the source. It's a quiet courage to say, I will decide. It's a refusal to hand your conscience to anyone, not to a church, not to a state, not to an influencer who promises you enlightenment for $4.99 a month. Now, there's a mantra of the powerless, a prayer to a God that doesn't exist. And it's the most dangerous phrase in any language. That phrase is, someone ought to do something. If you say it, congratulations, you've just volunteered, because there is no someone else. There never was. That's the moment of awakening, when you stop waiting for change and realize you are the axis around which your reality turns. That's the birth of sovereignty, the instant the victim dies and the creator is born. When I was younger, I used to wonder, why doesn't someone fix the world? Then I understood the world is a mirror, not a machine. It doesn't respond to complaint, it reflects state. You don't fix the mirror, you change what stands before it. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the power to manifest. That's what they never told you. That's the secret every empire hides. Because if you knew that your internal world governs the external one, you'd never kneel again. Risk is the price of creation. You can't sculpt reality without cutting into the marble. You can't summon a new life without letting the old one die. But if you strip risk out of life, what's left isn't safety, it's obedience. Obedience gets you a pre-built life. Risk is the price of admission to the life you design. The cage is comfortable because the zookeeper feeds you on schedule. He gives you a name, a number, and a purpose he invented, and you call it security. But step outside and you taste win. You taste yourself. I've walked both worlds. I've worked for governments that swore they were free and corporations that swore they were family. Both demanded loyalty and offered dependency. Both said, comply, or we'll make life inconvenient. The free man laughs and says, do your worst, because he already knows how to rebuild from zero. Freedom begins the moment you're willing to lose everything that was never really yours. Titles, status, approval, all rented. The only thing you own outright is your integrity. Guard it with everything you have. It's the cornerstone of creation, the proof that consciousness is real. I believe in moral absolutes. One, to be exact, you are responsible. That's it. That's the law that governs both physics and fate. Every other commandment is commentary trying to escape it. You are responsible for your actions, your inactions, your words, your silences. You are responsible for the world that exists because of what you tolerate. If that world offends you, change it. Not with outrage, with intention. That's manifestation in its purest form, the alignment of thought, word, and deed. That's what it means to live awake. So when I say, I am free, understand, it's not arrogance, it's ownership. It means I have no one left to blame. It means I've burned the bridges back to innocence. It means I live in the unguarded clarity of consequence. But it also means that when I open my eyes each morning, I don't wait for permission to begin. I am free because I choose to be. And that choice, once made, can never be revoked. A man who has learned to live by his own judgment carries his liberty inside him. You can cage the body, but not the mind that remembers it is God in miniature. And as long as one such mind exists, freedom is not lost. Merely waiting. So don't wait. Don't ask what's allowed. Decide what's true and build from there. The world is a mirror. It will reshape itself around your certainty. All civilization ever needed was a few stubborn souls who remember that the world only works when men act like they're free. So act like it.